What's up, guys? I'm here in Photoshop. I've got a few images open and I'm going to be showing you guys how to do my advanced clone stamping technique. This is a technique I use quite a bit in my images. So first with the clone stamp, you notice a regular clone stamp here. If I come in here, I wanted to get rid of this ice glare. I'm going to sample an area and clone stamp as normal. Well, the only problem with clone stamping is that you get halos, you get soft edges, and it's just not always the best way to go about it because you are sampling all the pixels, the color, and the texture. So what we're going to try to do is separate the texture and the color from each other so we can work with them separately. So the way we do that is with frequency separation. And normally people, when they hear that, they think of portraits, and it's commonly used for portrait photography, removing blemishes, but a lot of people don't know you can use it in landscapes as well. So I'm going to be showing you how to do that. It's good for getting rid of glare. I got this image with some flare we're going to get rid of, and also we're going to use it creatively in this one to create some mirroring. But first is first, we're going to show you how to create a frequency separation layer. So you come here and you're going to duplicate your layer twice. Command J, Command J. And I've got these two new layers. I'm going to name this one blur. This is going to be our color layer. And this one is going to be called texture. Okay, so I'm going to hide this texture layer for now. We're going to add a blur to this one. So filter, blur, Gaussian blur. Normally you want to set this to, as soon as you see the texture disappear, is where you want it set. It's going to be different for portraits and stuff, but usually 10's pretty good for this to work. Okay, we've got our blur layer. Now we're going to show our texture layer. Click on it. We're going to go to Image, Apply Image. Now we're going to apply this texture layer to the blur layer. So you want to come to your layer here and make sure it's choose on the layer you just created. Mine's called Blur. Chose that. And your blend mode is probably not going to be set on subtract, but you're going to bring it down to subtract. Okay, and the only other thing is scale and offset. You want it 2 and 128. Those numbers are always going to be the same. And just hit OK. Now, I do recommend creating an action for this so it's a lot faster for you the next time. I have one set up in TK Actions. I can just come up here, frequency separation. I also have my own actions here, but I'd recommend setting that up. Okay, so once you have these two layers, this texture layer looks really weird. So we're going to change that blend mode to linear light. And that is it. Now you have your frequency separation. We're going to group these two layers together and just call them frequency separation. Now that's how you create a frequency separation layer. So now if I come into this group, I have my texture and my blur, and I can work with these each separately. I can work on the color layer and affect the colors without touching any of the texture underneath, or vice versa. I can work on the texture and without affecting any of the color. So we're going to take our blur layer here, and I'm going to take my clone stamp. And now I want to get rid of this glare here, but I want to keep all that texture from the ice underneath. I don't want to hurt it. So I'm going to sample just the area of the color I want, and I'm going to paint over top. You can see even if I paint over that little ridge, all that texture is still staying. I'm only overlaying the color on top of it. That is it. So we got some weird texture that has been burnt in. You'll notice that happens. I'll show you over here as well. So we've gotten rid of the color, but now there's still some texture there. It's no big deal. All you got to do is come over to this texture layer again, sample. Oh, when you are on texture layer, only one thing is you got to make sure your sample up here is set to current layer. So we're just sampling the texture. So let's redo that. And now we're affecting only the texture, and the color is staying intact. Come back to your blur layer. Okay, I'm going to get rid of some of this texture over here as well. And this takes some time, but I usually just switch between the blur and the texture layers. And you see it's cleaning up rather nicely. So we can also get rid of this glare up here, doing the same thing. I'm going to come to my color layer and just start sampling the color. And all that texture underneath, all that ice, it's still staying nice and icy. See, it's a really natural way to do this. So you can see the before and after, we've completely got rid of that glare. Now, obviously, I could have taken my time a little bit more with this, but you can see where it's going. For the next one, let's get rid of some of this flare. I do want to keep that texture underneath. I just want to get rid of this green. That's something you'll run into quite a bit when you shoot into the sun quite a bit. So I'm going to open up my frequency separation layer here. Just quick with my action. I'm going to come to my color layer, choose color, clone stamp, choose an area, and just start painting over. And you see all those ripples, everything underneath is just staying completely untouched, which is awesome. I just want to get rid of that green. We don't want to mess with the texture. So you can see how quick that was. If I came in here with a clone stamp, you can probably do just as good of a job too, but it's a little more finicky. So now with the last image, I'm going to show you how I use it creatively sometimes. I just use this to take some of this ice over here and tie the eye in a bit. I wanted to create some of that mirroring over here as well. So I take my frequency separation layer. I'm going to create a new one. There we go. I'm going to come to my color layer again. And I'm going to sample some of this ice over here. I'm going to choose all layer. I'm going to sample all these layers here. And I'm going to start painting in here. As you can see, all that texture is tying in really nicely. If I just came in here with a clone stamp tool, you'd get similar results, but I really wanted this to blend in nicely with the ice that was already over here. So I just find that this frequency separation, whoa, something happened there. My computer is going crazy. But as you can see, just running through here, getting some of that nice ice texture. And I typically do a lot of stuff like this in my images. I do a lot of mirroring and compositing and whatever I feel like. So it's just an extra cool way to get some of that ice texture going. It actually looks pretty nice, I think. Obviously, you'd take your time here. Another thing I can do is get rid of this. I can still keep that texture of the rock underneath, so it's not disappearing, but I'm changing the color over top of it. So that's another way you could do that. Okay, so that's it, guys. That's some ways you can use the frequency separation on your images. And I hope that helped and hope you learned something new. And I will hopefully catch you soon with a new tutorial. So thanks, guys, and we will talk to you later.